Hello and welcome to the official kickoff for Game Informer's E3 coverage for E3 2019. I'm Ben Hanson, joined by Dan Tack.
I am super excited.
And once again, Andy McNamara.
Hello.
We can't get him out of this studio for Christ's sake.
It's like I live here.
So I know this is weird saying, hey, this is E3 right now. Because people are like, well, first of all, Google, not a gaming company, really. Stadia, what even is that? Also, what day? It's Thursday. But
you got to keep going earlier. That's how you beat everybody.
We can call this E3 at this point, right?
Sure, this is E3.
Even though I don't think Stadia would ever use those words, at this point, anything in the build-up to it, it's E3, baby.
E3 is going to be 3 weeks in a couple years. You know, just everybody trying to get ahead of everybody.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything, but I would imagine that it will feel like that because Sony getting a week ahead with Death Stranding.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if a week after E3 they come in swinging with Last of Us 2 news or something like that and try and just leapfrog E3 like that. So E3 will never end, right, Andy?
I mean, please let it end. But I think it's certainly grown in time and space and things like that. People are just trying to get ahead of each other, right? And I always liked Sony's strategy when they were at E3, which was like I liked the last word, not the first word.
Right.
Right. You know what I mean? Because like whatever Google announces today, Microsoft and their play into the streaming space is going to get to comment afterwards, right? So I always think that's interesting when you try to go early rather than late. And so,
right.
I don't know. It's
and everybody knows
strategy.
Nintendo will have the last word if they want to plug in something at the end of the direct. Like, F you, Google, or whatever they want to do. Yeah, it could be absolutely anything.
Yeah, it's such a Nintendo thing to say. F you.
Nintendo's online presence, absolutely.
That new Doug Bowser is out of his mind.
Yeah, he's crazy.
So what we're doing here is we're going to have some commentary over the basically E3 press conference from Google Stadia, where hopefully full details, where I think we're all hoping for games.
I think they said, we're going to get pricing, release date, all that stuff is going to be here sometime.
That's absolutely amazing. We also have Leo Vader in the booth. Hello, Leo.
Hey, guys.
Doing a great job. So he's going to be relaying chat, so let us know what you think of the conference, if we're talking too much, too little, if Dan Tack should take off his hat. Whatever you want,
well, don't
just
ask
let
that.
us know in the chat.
That's good.
Farm life, huh, Dan?
Yeah, don't you just love farm life? Like, don't you
I grew up on a farm, and I'm pretty
you ever
lukewarm
yearn
on
for-
farm
Really?
life, to be honest.
Did you have ducks?
No, chickens
See,
and goats.
that's why.
Okay,
That's why.
That's what I'm
All right.
missing?
Yeah.
What's that hat from?
What experience do you have with duck farms?
None.
Okay.
But I
Just
like
wanted to
ducks a
double
lot.
check. Okay, gotcha. All right.
Is this because you got really into that farming game this year? What was that farm
Farm
game?
Together?
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with that.
Okay.
I just, don't you ever yearn with our technological society to ever just get back to agriculture?
I don't know what this shtick is. Anyways, our E3 coverage in general, right? We should outline how this is going to work. So not only Google Stadia, we're kicking things off with that, but basically every major press conference we're going to have commentary for. And then we're also going to have live versions of the Informer Show podcast from LA. We're still in Minneapolis right now. I am, but
Every
Andy,
day, right?
Yes.
That's
so it's going to be
insane.
Sunday, Monday,
Good
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There might even be a bonus one thrown in there at some point to associate with our new cover, but I won't say what day that will be on.
Ooh.
It's very tricky.
Ooh, which cover, which I think we can throw out. We will announce tomorrow.
Oh my
Very
goodness.
interesting strategy. All right. But in addition to that, we'll also have some fun bonus videos. Leo has promised to make funny videos with Jeff Cork, and it's impossible for those not to be funny, right, Leo?
I'm a man of my word,
All
first
right.
and foremost.
Fantastic.
Just don't look like you did at the end of last year's when you looked like you were dying.
Yeah.
We'll see.
It's kind of setting a table here for E3.
Yeah. Hey, here we go. Kick off for the big press
Oh, yeah,
conference.
what's that?
Hey, Stadia Connect.
Stadia.
I just
Andy.
saw an ESRB M+.
That's weird to have.
Hi, I'm Phil. Thanks so much for joining us today for the first Stadia Connect. This series gives you a look at Stadia news, events, new titles, bonus features,
This
and
was
more.
obviously pre-recorded.
We'll be posting these Stadia Connect videos from time
He's
to
not
time to
Skyping
bring you
in
the
from
latest
purgatory.
from Google straight to all of you, the players. We've got a bunch of exciting news to share with you today, so let's get started. 3 months ago, we gave you a first look at Stadia, a new generation game platform powered by the best of Google. Today, we're going to tell you about the first
It's like
wave
he was
of
told
games
never to look at a
available
camera,
at
no matter which
launch.
camera it is.
We'll
Oh,
share
damn it.
pricing details, including an exclusive launch offer.
He's looking
and
right
you'll
at
learn
you.
how to become one of the first Stadia players. Stadia has been years in the making across different Google teams.
You can pay extra to be
Google's
in
mission
early.
has always been
Yeah.
to make information more accessible for everyone. With Stadia, our goal is to make gaming more accessible for everyone too. We designed Stadia to bring together game players and game watchers from around the world into one global community of gamers. And Stadia makes it easy to play your favorite games on any screen in your life. At launch later this year, you'll be able to play Stadia games on your TV, desktop, laptop,
Okay.
tablet, and on Pixel
I think this was
smartphones,
already established.
starting with Pixel 3.
Well,
It's
the
on the
fact that
table.
it's just a
brand new
pixel out of the
3A
gate for the
that we
phones, I think, is
announced last
interesting.
month. Wherever you are, Stadia lets you play the latest games. No downloads, no patches, no installs.
It definitely does
Just
feel like a
grab your
reset of like, let's
controller
get the
and
basics
you're
out
in.
there again. Not
Yeah.
everyone
This level
tunes
of
into
access
GDC
and
stuff, you know.
availability represents a huge shift in the gaming world. Instead of a console or a PC, you're using Google's data center as the platform. We handle the
Got
intense
it.
gameplay
Got that part.
processing
Yeah,
and
we know, but
graphics, so there's
how
no
laggy is
console
it?
required
No
to
one
play
cares about
your
the console
favorite
being
game.
required or
it's
not.
That's
smart to
what
go over the
Stadia
basics
is
here
all
with
about.
Yeah,
The
fair enough.
games. Today, we're unveiling the very first
Today
wave
we're
of
unveiling
games
how
coming to the
laggy it
platform
is.
at launch. We're working with hundreds of leading publishers and developers around the world
Bungie,
to
Rockstar,
deliver their biggest and best
Biggie,
titles to Stadia.
Drool.
We've lined up an incredible selection of games spanning nearly every genre, including fighting, sports, role-playing games, first-person action, and racing titles. And we're just getting started. This worldwide exclusive
That seems
unveil
really easy to
comes
do, by
straight
the
from
way,
our
to
friends
fill out
at
all the
Larian
genres in
Studios.
today's age.
Right.
They're covering their bases.
He's got it split in half.
Good God.
Oh.
Is that the chat's reaction to the press conference so far, Leo? Pretty much.
He does not look good.
Order 2. Order 2.
Well, this is why it was M+.
Uh-huh.
Is this
It's a,
Baldur's?
yeah, it looks like a Mind Flayer, right?
Yes,
There it is.
Yeah, look at that.
That's a big announcement.
That's a logo. That's awesome that
That
Larry's
is
doing it, though.
insane.
It's really
Okay,
rad.
very, very exciting. First question. Does their logo always have the little dart on it?
Larian is a company
here we go.
where
Oh,
we
no,
try to give
they can do it.
everybody a lot of freedom because we want them to come with their IDs. No, thanks, man. Forget it. My name is Sven Vinke. I am the founder and director of Larian Studios. So Larian Studios was founded in '97 in Ghent in Belgium. I've seen the entire evolution of the games industry.
Look at those
We keep on
CRTs.
driving
That's awesome.
the state of the art forward so fast. You don't have that in music. You don't have it in movies. But in video games, you have it, and Stadia is like the next leap. I mean, it is quite revolutionary. Larian Studios was founded to be able to create big epic RPGs in which the world reacts to what you're doing, in which you could play together with your friends. When we released Divinity Original Sin 1, I tried approaching Wizards of the Coast, trying to tell them that we should be the ones making Baldur's Gate 3. They didn't necessarily believe me back then, but then we started making Divinity Original Sin 2, and then at some point they just reached out to me and they said, well, you're the guy that wanted to make Baldur's Gate 3. Do you still want to make Baldur's Gate 3? And I say, yeah, of course I still want to make Baldur's Gate 3. And that got the conversation rolling, and before you knew it, we were constructing story. It was awesome. It was a geek dream come true. Baldur's Gate 3 is the biggest game that we've ever done. We had to triple the size of the studio to be able to do it.
Wow.
Production values are very, very, very high. But the game deserves it. I mean, it's people have been waiting on it for a very long time, so it deserves to be top-notch in every single aspect. And it's shaping up to be a beautiful game.
Is that
But the
because they're
coolest
working on
thing
two
about
games?
it all is that
or
by
all
bringing it
those
to
people for one
Stadia,
game?
pretty much everybody is going to be
They're-
able to play it at the highest quality settings.
They're all for that
because,
one game.
Stadia
The
is
other-
The other
game.
tactics
democratic
game
in
is
that sense,
separate.
if you want. It
Not being
doesn't
developed by them.
differentiate between what platform you're playing it on because everything is server-based.
We can't wait for you to play Baldur's Gate 3 on
I mean, that's the
Stadia.
kind of game you want to
And we're
play
just
like
playing an
streaming that would
RPG
have the
like
best chance
Baldur's
of
Gate
working,
3
right?
or
And it'll be
any
on
of the
PC
other
too,
titles and
obviously.
genres
Yeah.
that we
PC
see
Yeah,
today.
it's still a
We
cool
know that
announcement. I'm sure the
players
PC
demand
gaming
the
show's like,
most responsive
why couldn't we get Baldur's Gate 3 as the announcement? That is made for us,
That's
man.
just-
Google's got way more money than the PC.
Turns
Yeah,
out, yeah.
Like, screw the Stadia. Like, that's a
It's
huge
huge.
announcement.
It's huge.
Any other, like, that's a giant game.
What
Yeah.
does
Like,
that
an
mean for the
impossible to
internet
make
connection
legacy,
you're on
right? Like,
now? Let's
Turns out you just have to
quickly
make one
dig
good game,
into the
and then they would
numbers.
reach out to
Our
you.
highest quality gaming
Two good
experience
games.
is remarkable.
I guess that's true.
With 4K HDR video at 60 frames per
Oh, we're doing
second
this again.
and 5.1
I love this stuff.
surround sound. we're able to deliver this experience to users with a connection speed of around 35 megabits per second. And with Google handling the
pretty good,
processing
right?
load, you can enjoy
Seems
smooth gameplay
aggressive.
even if you don't have that kind of connection. So let's say you have a connection
That
speed
seems
of
higher
just
than
10
most people
megabits
have,
per
right?
second. You
Ooh,
can
we got,
still get
This is
at
very
least
helpful. I love this.
720p video at 60 frames per second with stereo sound. We're really proud of the experience we're able to deliver, and it's all thanks to more than 20 years of work at Google, building and optimizing our networks
still
and
feel
data
like I
centers to
trust
support
Google to make
services with
to
billions
broadcast
of
it. I just
users
don't
like
trust any
YouTube,
ISPs to
Gmail,
deliver
Android,
it.
Yeah,
Google
you think
You
on
know what
that
I
end's
mean?
where it's going to crumble?
and of course, Google Search.
That's what worries
The
me.
latency and speed demands of online gaming aren't far off from the demands we've been meeting for years. We handle the back end so you can play the games you want, when you want, on whatever screen you prefer. Back in October of 2018, we put this idea to the test with Project Stream. We invited users to stream Assassin's Creed Odyssey at up to 1080p and 60 frames per second. It was a phenomenal gaming experience on a wide range of PCs and laptops that were simply running a Chrome browser.
You
With
loved it.
Project Stream, we demonstrated that we
Kyle
can
said it was-
transmit
it was
the
all
live
right.
instance
Yeah.
from
You
the
know.
data center to your screen faster
I
than
think we
your
also had to
eye
tell
is
them how fast our
transmitting those
connection was
images to
before
your
they let
brain.
us in, and
Oh, really?
then
Critical for fast-paced
I think I heard it was a
games on
little
Stadia,
herky-jerky a
like
little bit.
Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
It's truly a new paradigm for gaming. And since we announced Stadia a few months ago, we've gotten a lot of interest about this new
Phil
way to
Harrison
play.
quotes.
In our conversations and meetups with game developers, they're excited about the possibilities of an ever-evolving play experience. And we can't wait to get Stadia in the hands of gamers later this year. So let's share some more details about the platform and what you'll need to get started at launch. You'll get the best experience playing with our new Stadia controller. It's designed specifically for streaming games,
Best
and it includes a capture button for your game footage and a button to access the Google Assistant. Of course, you can also play Stadia games with any supported game controller or with a mouse and keyboard. The only other thing you need is a screen to play on. Want to play on the HD TV in your living room? Just plug in a Chromecast Ultra.
YouTube chat
If
saying he
you'd
looks
rather
like
play
Lex
on your
Luthor.
laptop, desktop,
a very
or
good point.
tablet, open a Chrome browser window.
That's certainly as ambitious
Our
of a
vision is
plan
for
that he would
Stadia
come up
to
with.
run on any screen that runs Chrome. Or you can use the Stadia app on your Pixel 3. We'll be expanding to more screens down the line too, including more smartphones. When you're ready to play, the Stadia
anybody wanna
controller
play on their
connects
smartphone?
directly to your game.
I get how
running
you'd want
in
to
the
like
Google Data
maintain some
Center.
things on your
That
phone, like,
direct
and especially in
connection
persistent
is
games.
key
There's
to
some
providing the
opportunity
highest
for doing
possible
that.
Get
I
in,
think.
check your mail.
best streaming
Yeah,
experience.
maybe a
We have
farm
so many
simulator
more
where you can
details on the
keep
Stadia
up with your
controller.
Yeah.
your crops and things like that. as
Anything
you
that
go
doesn't
on.
have text, I imagine, would be fine.
We're also
Yeah.
a tweet away at Google Stadia to answer all your questions.
Oh, don't tell the
We're
internet
very
that.
excited to introduce you to a number of new titles coming to Stadia at launch. Let's take a
Yeah,
look.
but I mean, what are exclusive to? I mean, I feel like Baldur's Gate's going to be on,
It will be on Baldur's Gate will be on PC.
and Xbox probably, right?
Trying to
No
follow.
console announcements at this time for that one.
Alas, the beast can't be tamed that easily.
That was Breakpoint? GHOSTRECON?
That's a good guess.
This wild
I think
territory
it is.
is the perfect den for my kind. A free world where I can roam and explore with no end.
Do you need exclusives, Andy,
But I
to
came
get really
here
excited about Stadia?
unarmed,
I think the tech is
hidden
an exclusive
among
on its own, isn't it?
focused
Like-
on their
Don't you think people would go
superficial
absolutely
dreams.
crazy if there was though? They'd be so
Yeah,
pissed.
yeah, I think you're right.
I just feel like everyone's going to offer some kind of streaming service. I mean, PlayStation does right now. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I think there are streaming services out there. They're available.
To secure the
There's,
future
you know,
with
it's been around in the
technology others
past. It's
developed,
happened
but were
before.
too fearful to
you know, I have to find what makes it
Tuesday
compelling,
call,
right?
I
That's
took
what
the
I'm looking for is things that
and
make
by
it compelling.
tooth
Like I
and
said, is it
claw,
just the
I will
technology
rule
that's so compelling? I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
Once again, I need to use it in my environment. I need to not just hear about how great it is. I need to see that it's great and then it works well. You know, game trailers, you know, are cool. I guess a like capture button on your custom controller is cool, but that's not driving me to this as an exclusive platform. Like
Right.
software
The
to me
wolf
still
knows
is the
when a
like
predator
standout.
nears. Can a ghost
And,
take on the lone wolf?
I don't know that,
Maybe.
you know, if it doesn't have exclusive software, then it has to be really amazing technology and make sense on the cost value, right? It's like, what are we paying for here? Am I paying for the game? Am I paying for the service?
Well,
Is it
we'll find
subscription?
out.
We'll find out. But I think these are all like big questions.
Yeah, for sure.
Certainly.
Leo, you're still into this game?
Yeah.
We
This looks pretty cool.
always
You're into it? Did you play Wildlands?
No.
No.
But did you have just a more survival-based Ghost Recon you're into?
Yeah. The concept.
Sure.
I mean,
you
I'm
really
gonna-
like covering yourself in mud?
I'm gonna wait and see what people say about it, but like, you know, this is a game I could see myself playing.
Yeah.
Stand by.
This is one of those things where it would really help if this was a live press conference. It's like pre-recorded. Okay, yeah, sure.
you
This
don't-
is a demo, but
you
what
want
does
to
that
do this
mean?
demo live?
Well,
Talk
they should if they're-
nobody,
No,
nobody
yeah.
in the right mind would do that.
Especially because Ubisoft does that like pre-recorded chat. That's so
Right,
bad.
right.
Hopefully they stop. But that was just an example of the like that you can see your friends
Yeah.
stream in
Yeah.
game.
That's nice.
Which
to
is
make
pretty sweet.
multiplayer better. That is a cool feature if it works
Yeah.
Right.
and doesn't just muddle up your screen.
What is this?
It's a new Pixar film.
Looks better than Onward.
Ooh. Man, whatever this is cool.
What the hell?
I don't know what this is, but I'm into it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I love it. This looks like a great, like, scary horror type experience.
Really, you think it's a horror experience?
I'm guessing. Just a guess, Andy.
yeah.
Maybe it's a FPS. I don't know yet.
I like the art. Tequila Works.
Ah.
Interesting. Thought they were busy with that Groundhog Day game.
Parking simulator? Wait.
Oh, is this GTA 6?
It's a rob a house simulator.
That old gem.
No. Pick up the car.
Get hacked.
Oh, I think I'm gonna pass on this one. Just a early impression.
Come on,
from the
get
show.
tacked here, Dan.
You never know. It could be like wild, wacky four-player
Right,
fun.
this looks like an overcooked
What?
kind of thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Except what are
Yeah.
you doing? You're lifting a car
You're
and
packing up. You're packing that
Couching
house
on
up.
like
Oh.
that. See, yeah, it's meant to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
wacky
Yep,
fun.
I get it. I can see this as a couch game.
This looks like a scary horror type experience to me.
Oh, Leo!
Nothing scarier than moving.
That's true.
Hello. Dan, this is a game for the
This
Twitch
doesn't just
era.
have physics; it has
You know what?
ridiculous.
You're not
physics.
wrong, Hanson.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
This looks fun.
Yeah, you're right. I can see myself playing this on stream.
I mean, this looks like it could be fun.
It does.
We don't know yet.
We'll only have to wait.
I'm gonna go
over
with
a
Andy.
year.
I'm gonna go with Andy's first impression there. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
This Division?
Yeah, it gotta be, right?
Ubisoft getting to represent.
Ubisoft is everywhere. If I'm surprised they aren't on that handheld with the crank at this point.
Spread not only
They might
across
be.
the
Week
nation,
12.
That's
but
true.
also across the world. And you, as an agent of the Strategic Homeland Division, has been called to Washington, D.C. to help take the city back and save
This
the
is
country.
great. It all hinges.
So
Just
one of the
say crossplay
major
right now or
challenges
don't.
is to take an RPG
That's
and
all we
to
wanna know.
create a fast-paced, action-packed shooting game. We learned a lot from the first game.
See, this one
and we
latency really
improved
does
on
matter,
that. And
especially,
what we
like,
have
yeah,
today,
on the
I
raid and
think,
stuff.
is
Yeah.
the best cover-based shooter RPG out there. One of the real benefits of choosing Washington, D.C. for the second game is that we have all of
Remember
these
E3 last year where we
amazing,
kind of had the
iconic
same type of
buildings.
video? We already know
White
what the game
House,
is. We got
the
it.
Capitol, we have the Air and Space
I imagine they have to
Museum,
think about
we
like
have the Lincoln
somebody who's never
Memorial,
played
and of
Division
course,
2.
I guess
But
they're going for a whole new audience.
That
as
is
they
weird.
said.
It is a little weird
Yeah.
given that it's already out and very popular.
Stadia means that you can play your game anywhere.
Is this your game of the year so far, Dan?
The
Yes.
collaboration with Google has
Over
been
Sekiro?
Yeah.
really awesome.
Wow,
because
that's
they're
amazing.
Very open, a very open company, at least with us as partners. We know games, and they know infrastructure. So together we can.
This
bring
is like an example, though, of
powerful,
like something where,
visually appealing.
especially when I'm doing like
experience, all
multiplayer or I'm
stadiums.
doing like
Together we can make the
cooperative,
best
you know what I mean? Like,
It definitely gets more points because I'm always playing this with my crew, and we have a
Yeah.
good time hanging out. And
but I
that's a
mean, like,
factor.
if I'm the laggy
bandwidth
individual in our
physical
team,
infrastructure
if I'm the
also
guy
matters
who's
as well.
bad because the connection isn't like
Right.
great.
The Division
Yeah.
2
Well, think
even
about
when-
this.
Like even when my ping goes up from like
and
you know
immensely
40
thrilling
to
journey.
like 120,
really looking
I
forward
notice
to seeing
as I
what you can
play.
do.
You know what I
Right.
mean? I feel like I don't play as well, and it's
So
noticeable.
Stadia gives you that out. You'd be like, I was lagging.
I was on Stadia, but I mean that's not that. Once again, that's not a selling point. That's those are my concerns with games like that. Like that looks awesome, and I love being able to take it everywhere. I just like.
And now here to tell you
Yeah, I don't
about
think I could play
Stadia's pricing
Pixel.
and
I just
availability is
on my
friend
phone,
and
on my
colleague,
Pixel.
John.
Tough.
Pricing.
We're launching Stadia with a diverse mix of games from lots of genres and world-class game publishers. There's truly something for everyone. With
He's got great
Stadia, you can
classes.
put
do
your
like
money
those.
where the
I
things
do
that
like
really
those.
matter.
Those are great.
The latest, greatest game experiences that you can
Best
play
classes
anywhere.
on this stream
to
yet.
unlock these experiences,
Best
we're
glasses
offering a
E3 maybe.
premium
Andy, I was
subscription
bracing
Early
for you to
promo.
make fun of his glasses. You're on board with those glasses?
Yeah.
They're classy.
It delivers
I
the
like 'em.
best of Stadia for just $9.99 per month.
Subscription.
Stadia Pro gives you regular content that we add to your library for being a Stadia Pro member at our highest streaming quality. 4K, HDR, 60 frames per second with 5.1 surround sound.
So basically,
And we're going a step
$120
further
a year.
to celebrate players who want to be the first playing on Stadia. We know there's a passionate world of players out there who want bigger, better, more accessible gaming experiences. After announcing Stadia, we've heard from so many gamers who share our excitement. For those fans, we've created a custom, limited edition set of exclusive features and content. We call it the Stadia Founders Edition, and you can pre-order it starting today. The Founders Edition includes everything you need to get started with Stadia, and you'll have the first access to Stadia when it launches later this year. We want to make sure your
get
games
it.
look
I
great
hate
on
this
the biggest
practice.
screen in your home, so the Founders Edition comes with a Chromecast Ultra for streaming it up to 4K HDR at 60 frames per second directly to your TV. You'll also receive a limited edition Night Blue Stadia controller,
I like the
as well
color.
as 3 months of Stadia Pro. And we know gaming is more fun with a friend. The Founders Edition comes with a 3-month buddy pass, so you can gift Stadia Pro access to a friend or family member. You can also pick up
That's
an
nice.
additional
Yeah, that's a good-
Stadia
that's
controller
smart.
for $69. It comes in clearly white, just black,
Clearly white.
and wasabi.
Clearly.
And here's the
And
best
clearly
part about the
wasabi.
Founders Edition. You'll be among the first players to secure your exclusive Stadia name. So you'll get the Stadia name you want and the bragging rights that go along with it.
If
so
anybody
you're
takes
getting a
Yozetis, help
Chromecast
me God.
Ultra,
Does anyone
the
ever
limited
brag about their
edition Night
name?
Blue
No, but
Stadia
you do want to get
controller.
your handle.
It is
3
cool.
months
Like
I
when
know.
Reggie went on
You
Twitter
and
and
a
he got
friend,
Reggie.
you'll be
That
among
was
the
cool,
first
man.
players to
I'm
select
gonna
a
reserve
Stadia
Google
name.
support.
It's all the Stadia Founders Edition, and it's coming to these 14 countries.
Hey, we're in there.
And we're working
We're
hard
in
to
there.
expand Stadia to additional countries in 2020 and beyond. We do have one more surprise. Gamers who buy the Stadia Founders Edition will get the complete Destiny 2 experience as part of Stadia Pro. Let's take a look.
At Destiny.
Now, what is Destiny 2?
Destiny's about being a super powerful hero set loose in a really beautiful world.
The first time I fired my super, I was like screaming, I'm so badass right now. I've been playing games for 30 years and I've never experienced that.
Destiny is about playing with your
Golf?
friends.
My best moments are
It's just
with
an emo.
other players.
the coolest
the
part.
first time I beat multi-class, I know who was there with me, and that just makes it feel so much more rich.
Bungie's always been at the forefront of exploring new ways to bring our games to our players.
We are now our own publisher. Did you know this? And with Stadia, you get to be the tip of the spear with something that's new. Our push now is to remove all the barriers that we have to playing Destiny.
Whenever, wherever, with whomever you want.
We're allowing players to have access to all of it. All of our planets, all of our cooperative strikes, all of our competitive modes, Gambit, raids.
Destiny
it's
2,
all there for
great
players
game.
to jump in and have
But I
fun.
mean, all they're
Shadow
saying is that it's
is the next
available. They're not
chapter
saying
in
they're doing
Destiny
anything to
story.
make it
It's a pretty
special.
haunting tale.
on
There are
this,
these
right?
nightmares that are walking the moon.
Which
and
is
you'll
probably
have to
good.
find a way
Well, I think
to
we're
calm
getting.
those
people.
Isn't this like new
nightmares and face your
content here?
fears.
This is, yeah.
We
Yeah.
have a lot to do with Destiny 2. We're not done yet. We now are in control of our own destiny.
There's going to be a Destiny stream later today, too,
Behind
I think,
us.
outlining more stuff.
We have an incredible community. And with Stadia, I think we're going to open up an entirely new opportunity
What a good-looking
for
game.
players to come in and play with their friends from around the world.
your friends from around the world as long as they're in those 14 countries.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the cool.
Well, they said that at the beginning too. They're like, we're bringing everybody from the world in, except if you live in, you don't live in.
You can always move.
Yeah, you can.
To the past.
So here's the new Destiny stuff,
Yeah,
right?
Shadowkeep.
Can you feel them?
Errol Morris, what's her name?
Hear their voices.
Eric. Yeah, something like that. I'm so bad with game names.
Their endless
But she's awesome.
torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows.
Noticing some compression of the dark
seeking
aspects here. It's a fun aspect for
Get used to it for your games as well.
Exactly.
They rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked.
What did the Game of Thrones guys say? Something's wrong with your TV, right? When they had the dark.
Oh, for Winterfell.
We must bring an end to this suffering. One way.
Good God.
Or another.
All 2019.
Okay.
Play it on your phone.
Lots of screens.
Did we
A
mention the
big
screen?
thank you to our friends at Bungie for partnering with us to bring the full Destiny 2 experience to Stadia. The base game, all previous add-ons, the newest expansion, and the annual pass. They're all included in your Stadia Pro subscription. And as an added bonus, you'll be able to transfer your Destiny Guardian to Stadia from any other platforms.
That's super cool.
PlayStation 4 pending.
Stadia Founders
really? Is that what it said?
Regarding
Limited
approval from
edition
Sony.
Sony!
It's written at the
Oh
bottom.
my God.
Balls in their court.
3 months of Stadia Pro, the full Destiny 2 experience, first dibs on your Stadia name, and a buddy pass to give Stadia Pro to a friend for 3 months. Good luck deciding
I'm
who
gonna
you're
grab
gonna give it
Ninja.
to. When you add
Smart.
everything up, that's almost $300 of value. And you'll get it all in the Founders Edition for just $129, which you can pre-order now. We're excited to offer the Founders Edition
bad.
to gamers around the world.
But
But
you
it's
just
only available for a
get
limited time, in
Destiny?
limited quantities. So don't wait
The
too
controller,
long.
The controller and
Well,
the
right,
controller.
I'm
If
talking
you
about
don't
software.
want the Founders Edition or
Yeah.
Stadia
Yes.
Pro, you can still buy and
But
play
I
Stadia
think there's a little
games
bit more.
without a subscription. Simply buy the games you want when you want them. We call this Stadia Base. And any games you purchase, they're yours to play whether you want.
They're not
So
ours.
Until we
whether
turn
you're
off the
ready to go
servers.
Yeah.
all in with the Founders Edition bundle, or if you prefer Stadia Base, you have options. All right, let's bring Phil back for a few final details and surprises.
Thanks for tuning in to this first look at some of our most exciting launch titles, pricing details, and how to access Stadia right at launch. You can get more details and info at stadia.com/FAQ, or you can find it in the description here. Or tweet us at Google Stadia. We'll have much more to come soon, including additional announcements from some of the world's best game publishers.
Saving it for E3.
Thanks for watching. I can't wait for you to experience
funny.
Stadia for yourself. And with that, we're excited to show you one last collection of games.
Listen up already.
Okay. Leo, did you get those down?
That was a lot of games.
We got this Assassin's Creed thing.
So to your point, did Pro give you access to more games?
So Pro, you will get free games regularly, was their official phrasing in a fact sheet.
But do they go out of like
So
a
if
Netflix
you
movie?
lose
Do they
subscription-
come into play and out of play?
Unclear. And they didn't say how often. But you will get free games, and then if you stop subscribing to Pro, you get to keep those games.
So like Xbox, where you can download it when
Yes.
it's free. Okay.
Yep. So think of it, like a PS Plus type thing, right? And also you get discounts on some games.
And then on the free plan, you can buy games, and then they're just in your library to play whenever.
Yes, and they didn't really harp on that too much, but yeah, so that base model is coming in 2020. They wouldn't say when in 2020, and that I think is the insane thing, where there's no subscription necessary, you just buy the game.
But you still have to buy every game.
You still have to buy every game, but considering like excitement for like next gen in 2020, if there's some kid that just says, "Oh, I can just pay $60 and buy this game, I have to pay $560
Sure, you won't,
bucks,"
won't need a console.
yeah, that's insane. Don't you think, Andy?
If it runs well.
I don't know. I have so much I need to learn about this. I mean, I hate to be like I mean, I've said this in the past. Like, I do think streaming is an important part of gaming as we go forward. I'm not going to just deny the future that it brings or what games it can enable. And being able to play on lots of devices is great. It's just I'm concerned about the infrastructure of the whole thing and how things work. I just have so much. Even when I play just simple mobile games, I have moments where they lag out. I lose matches all the time due to like bad lag. And I have 5G now, I think.
Right.
So it's like everything they always tell me that's going to fix everything. I'm like, it's not fixed now.
Right.
And like just because I can pay $60 to get some great next gen game, if it's a bad experience, then it's not worth saving $500 or not buying the next console. And also that console's not like, it's a one-time purchase, certainly, but I mean, like, that works for you for all the games that you play on it post then, you know what I mean? And, Pro's $120 a year, so in 3 or 4 years, you pay for that anyway. Maybe you spend $500 on a console anyway. By the way, I'm not saying console's better or that streaming is better at this point. I'm saying there's, like, not enough information to immediately say, that's a good deal.
I mean, you talk about the lag. I think it's important to point out, like, you can worry about the input lag. The fact they're showing Mortal Kombat 11, I think, is crazy. And there is obviously going to be some amount of input lag, but it's a matter of if you're cool with that or not. But in terms of, like, it won't, in theory, lag you much far behind, because what it does is if it's like your internet connection's crap in the bed, it'll just compress the video more and more, and it'll look like watching a YouTube video at 240, But
except it doesn't just work what they're sending me; it's also what I'm uploading, which is my inputs.
Right.
Right. So I mean, like that lag. I mean, I think we've all played a game where you do inputs, and then the inputs all compress and happen in like a second, right? Where you're like, okay, now I'm screwed. Like, as it tries to like make assumptions about what would happen and to try to get you caught up to what the present is, right? Like as you deal with those changes in time, essentially, as one person's not lagging and you are.
Right.
And so there's a lot of stuff there. And like once again, I say games are competitive. They're about having an edge. The reason people buy expensive, ridiculous computers and get the latest NVIDIA card is that they want an edge. That you buy extra expensive controllers because you want an edge. You buy mice,
absolutely,
keyboard. I mean, everything you buy as gamers, you buy to get an edge. And like all that could be thrown out the window just by basing on what platform you go with.
100%. But I mean, the people that want that edge is probably the Game Informer community, people that are more on the hardcore edge of the gaming crowd. You think about the amount of people that want an edge, they're playing Fortnite on their phone. They don't give a crap.
That's why I think Baldur's an interesting game that they started with, because like that's the kind of game that like, hey, I can keep playing it on my phone or keep playing it on my laptop and it can travel with me. And like maybe that's fun to travel, like a game that can move with me, kind of like the charm of a Switch is that games can go with me.
Yeah.
And I like that portion of what Stadia has to offer in that kind of game, but I it's the thing when it's like, this is your own, I'm looking at more, it's like, this is your only platform. And that's where I get like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Right.
I mean, the fact of the matter, I'll probably get it for free, right? I mean, that's where we sit, or at least
next year, everybody will have it for free.
Exactly.
That's the crazy thing.
But it's weird that it's next year that you can only buy it.
This is basically beta round 2 for them this year. So November 2019 is when this Founders Edition thing will launch. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I have questions, and also too, they announced they were going to build a studio. They didn't give us the updates on what the studio was going to be, what exclusives were going to be, what games were going to be built for the data center, what the data center games would really bring. I still don't understand that. They're still just trying to sell me on like, hey, it runs on all these things. And
we
runs
have all
on
these
this
publishers
range,
lined up, which is a decent amount, yeah.
And I mean, I'll even say this: I have fiber at home, and there's times when my fiber does not run. Like when there's high times, it'll fall below 35.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If that's the window for 4K,
are you hell bent on 4K?
No, I'm not hell bent on 4K. But at some point, if I'm paying for it, right, and it's something that I want out of my experience, and I have a TV for it. I mean, once I've got everything for it, I feel like that's the stuff I want. I mean, I tend to think I can't notice, but I do worry about things like you pointed out, like in the areas where like we were getting the artifacting in the dark spaces on games. I mean, those are all real questions about streaming games.
I wonder if every game that Stadia produces is just going to be the brightest game known to man, just to try and eliminate all that. Which is interesting that they go for that horror game too. It's like, here's a super dark game. We'll see how it looks.
Yeah.
And maybe you're right. Maybe there's going to be some game that reaches everybody. Like a Tetris thing that like really like resonates globally and everyone gets to play. And I love the fact that maybe it can reach new people to play games, but they're not marketing to people who don't play games. They're marketing to the hardcore group. So when you say like Andy, they're not talking about us. They're literally talking to us in these presentations. In my
Right.
opinion.
I'm saying it's not for everybody. That's what I'm trying to convey with that. But yeah, I mean, eventually they will be able to market to absolutely everybody. I don't know how they're planning on doing it, but I think a big part of that is going to be, I mean, YouTube end screens, I think is going to be a juggernaut, especially if it's like Tetris is a great example. What if they make a $3 version of Tetris? Well, I guess Tetris is a terrible example because you can play it everywhere already for free anyway.
But some great game
But
that's
people
really
would still do it, like after a YouTube video. You know, they just click a button.
Right.
And boom. It's like, do you have a Stadia account? Well, you do now.
Right.
It's tied into your Google account. Welcome.
Yeah.
You can be playing right now. It's free. Play with your friends. Here are your friends that are on Google right now.
I know it's
There's a lot of
definitely their
scary
messaging at GDC, but like harnessing the power of like kids watching YouTube, I think is bonkers.
I mean, I think they're going to get a lot of people that sign up for it. I think their sign-up numbers are going to be insane, and they'll be really big numbers because people will sign up to be able to do exactly what you're saying, is get that free demo, like to stream a demo of a game, like as a kind of try before you buy kind of thing. I mean, I think that's very real. I'll be interested to see how many people sign up versus how many people follow through to buying games and engaging games, and that being the place where they engage games long term. I think it's going to be a great way to demo games.
Right. And actually, we did ask them. We got a chance to talk to them. We asked them about the possibility of demos, like limited trials, stuff like that. And they're like, oh, we're not saying anything on that front. But that's where I think it's going to be huge for them. And especially for publishers, too. Like, to send a demo at the end of their YouTube trailer for anybody watching it, like, that's insane.
It is, unless they have to make that demo, which is a bunch of work. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
naturally, but if it's a
like,
demo that they had at a trade show anyway or something like that. Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely. Dan, what do you think?
I think it's going to, like was already stated, you know, for stuff like Baldur's Gate, for like core single-player RPG experiences, that's great. You know, play it anywhere. That sounds awesome. But I'm a little skeptical still about, like, you know, they had the Division 2, or whatever it was, the BREAKPOINT, with the 4 screens. Like, that's not a situation where you can afford to have latency issues, right? I mean, especially for PvP games, like Dota, League of Legends, anything, Fortnite, any kind of those experiences, like
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat, yeah. There's lots of games that latency will be an issue. Again, as has been reiterated ad nauseum here, like, we need to see more, we need to play more. That's the thing. Get it in the hands. Does this work? Does it work on this connection? Does it work on that connection? Does it look good? Does it play good? What's the library like? All these things are still kind of questions, right? So I guess I leave them more questions, and I say I like the horror game and freaking Baldur's Gate 3. Oh my god, that's my
for sure.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, they never said they were exclusive. I mean, you can
they're
probably
not.
play those games
Baldur's
other
Gate,
places.
Baldur's Gate will be on PC as well.
So,
and you know that because
they told me that.
Okay,
Hey.
so you actually talked to Larian.
I did.
And what'd you learn?
They said a lot of the same stuff that Swen said in that little.
It's an honor to work on Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
crazy to work on Baldur's Gate. You will be able to make your own characters.
Okay.
It will have multiplayer.
Okay.
So basically, they said they're going to build on everything they've made with the Divinity OS games and add more. You're going to have a lot of player choice. You're going to have a lot of player agency. It's all built on the back of D&D 5th edition. So they took those systems, they ported them faithfully, and then they tweaked and modified them so it would work in a video game sense, whatever that means.
That's interesting. How different is it? I'm not a D&D guy.
I am not
The
either.
old Baldur's Gate, was that based on like 1st edition, 2nd edition, something crazy?
Old Baldur's Gate was real-time with pause combat, and I asked them about combat. I asked them if it was going to be an isometric game like Divinity OS and Divinity OS 2, and they didn't answer that, which makes me believe it might even be like it'll be a different presentation. That's very telling.
I don't think they do that. They know their
There is no
wheelhouse.
reason they wouldn't tell me that it was isometric if it wasn't.
It just got a messaging from Google or from whoever saying, like, don't talk about anything regarding the gameplay.
They've got to know if it's top down at this point.
Oh, of course they know that, but I think it's just part of the messaging. They want to save all gameplay details for later.
You mean when they showed it at the Microsoft press conference?
Oh, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? That'd be awesome.
I don't think we're going to see it anywhere else.
You know?
Based on my conversation with them, I don't think we'll see it anywhere else at the show. I think
you know where we might see it?
Down the line is what they said.
Oh, might see something is we might have somebody from Laren on the Game Informer show next week at E3.
Well, I'll be tuning in.
Yeah, schedules are all over the place, but that's the plan anyway.
It'll
So I'm
probably be
excited to learn
Swen,
more
the founder,
about it.
right?
Great.
Is it Swen?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Yep.
great.
Oh, awesome.
That
Great
he's
guest.
Amazing.
Oh, good.
The stuff they do with that studio is just killer. Divinity and Divinity OS 2 are insane. Very ironic, I think, that I compared Divinity Original Sin 2 to Baldur's Gate. As
like
the
in your
modern
review
Baldur's
or
Gate,
something?
And now
or-
they actually have Baldur's Gate. So this, if you were a PC RPG fan, this is basically pants crapping amazing.
It's the Half-Life 3.
It is awesome. I kind of, I mean, that's the one thing that is a little weird to me. I don't know, maybe I'm just odd, but like they have a great brand. Like, you know what I mean? Like they could keep making great Divinity Sin games and keep investing in their own brand rather than someone else's brand because they're super talented studio, have proven that. Like, I don't think that's
and they have 300 people working on Baldur's Gate 3.
Really?
200 internal and 100 external.
I mean, I'm guessing Original Sin 2
That's
sold
mad
a
staff
crap load for them.
It did. They said pre-production started during the Divinity OS 2 days. So like,
Okay.
and then they went into full production in 2017.
Wow,
So this is-
that's good to hear. It might be coming
Yeah.
sooner than we think.
Yeah.
Andy, I can't help but notice. Speaking of good brands, your T-shirt. It's a little Rockstar T-shirt, right? Did you see that
is.
Rockstar logo on there?
I did see a Rockstar logo.
What do you think that means? Is Red Dead 2
I think it's Red
kind
Dead.
of sort of
I think
coming
it's Red
to
Dead.
PC? I think it's Red Dead 2.
I think it's Red Dead.
I mean, I have a feeling that like it's simple enough. If you're a publisher and you have a game and you can put it on a platform that can reach new, customers of any type, you're going to put it on there. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal that like Take-Two or anybody else signed up to like put their games on there.
But the idea for a PC-focused crowd to finally be able to play a version of Red Dead 2, even though it's going to be through the Founders Edition, like that is huge.
I've been banging that drum for how long now?
Okay,
So it's going
all
to
right.
happen.
All right, you've been waiting for the PC version.
Yes, I have.
Will you play it if this is all
It's not
speculation?
going
We
to
don't
only
know.
be Stadia. Are you kidding me?
What if it is? Would
It's
you
not
pay for
gonna-
that Founders Edition for it?
No.
Okay, because you want
It's
what?
going to be regular. I can't imagine the world
I
where
don't
it's
think
Stadia
and if
not
it is,
PC.
I mean, Stadia would never stop screaming about it. So
That's
even the
right.
fact that they didn't even highlight Rockstar has me worried that maybe it's not Red Dead 2 and that it's just going to be GTA 5.
I think it is.
You think it is Red Dead 2?
I think it is. Let's go with it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't ever assume anything. You know what I mean?
Oh, we're not assuming. We're
I mean, the
speculating.
first game has got to be GTA 5 because it's the biggest game in the world. Essentially, it's still like top streams. I mean, it's
Yeah.
still. I mean, GTA 5 is everywhere.
Right. And then maybe they save Red Dead 2 for the 2020 launch of, like, once they get out of this Founders Edition window.
I mean, I don't know. I think we're building a lot of stories around trying to get Red Dead on PC.
Yeah, because we're desperate
Because it's a
for
big
it.
deal.
Yeah, it is a huge deal, man.
I've been holding out for a while here.
Yeah,
Patiently.
I mean, I think. I mean, I wish Rockstar would do it just because I think it would reach more people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it's a very, very, very good game. So I mean, like, it'd be great if they did. And I think it's too, like, it's crazy. Like, I've been watching some of the like role play stuff for GTA 5. They could do some really crazy role play stuff in Red Dead. You know what I mean, on PC and things like that too. So, but we'll see. I mean, maybe that is
Yeah.
a way they don't have to build it, right? Because
Yeah.
I assume it's easier to do that way.
I have no idea. I'd love to talk to
yeah.
some techie people from studios to figure out like the difference between porting to PC versus porting to Stadia. Because I think it was at the GDC reveal they said Doom, like it took id 2 weeks to get it up and running on Stadia. Which everyone's like, oh, that's pretty good. But a part of me is like, id, like this tech powerhouse took them 2 weeks. Like, I think that's a little bit longer than I was expecting. But I don't know anything about that.
I don't know
world.
anything about it either, and
Yeah.
I don't know how. Like maybe you get it up and running. How long does it take to tweak it based
Right.
on the demands and other things like that are needed? We don't know. I mean, that's the thing with Stadia. It's a lot of talk right now. There's a lot of things we need to learn.
Right. Still, learned a fair amount. I'm happy that they got pricing out there,
Yeah.
details. I love that graph showing exactly what your internet connection
Yeah,
can
it's neat.
support, resolution.
I just wish it was doing this because that's what your internet connection's doing all the time.
Maybe it's to Minnesota. Yeah, it's definitely not a thing for everybody. But I think there are going to be those cases where people are going to be excited about this, right? That being said, Leo, how is chat? What do they say?
Oh, they hated it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, in that case,
hey, Chad.
no good.
A lot of people not trusting Google.
Yep.
Somebody said it seemed like a pyramid scheme.
A pyramid?
I don't exactly
I don't know about
understand
that. But Google has a history of creating things and then being very excited about them and then removing them.
100%.
I mean, that's a thing we have to accept.
Yes.
And understand.
You're not wearing Google Glass right now?
Google
But it
Glass, Google Wave, Google Hangouts is going away. I love Google Hangouts.
Which
and
is
it's
so
going
frustrating,
away.
like in terms of their messaging, because part of their messaging is if you caught it there, like you own the games, you can
Right.
keep these games. It's just complete BS. You're not owning anything.
You don't own it. Yeah, it's definitely and all the power is in their hands, as it always is in that case. But we've gone through this before.
We
I
have.
mean, I understand why chat is pessimistic. Let's say about it.
Yeah.
I certainly probably share that. I mean, I just think there is some kind of streaming of something in the future that's part of games, right? I think it's
course, yeah.
unavoidable.
Yeah.
But there's a long list of problems, and there's a long reason to believe that like these companies are saying they're on your side, and I understand why the gamers out there are like, hey, we just want great game experiences. Is that your number one concern here?
Mhm.
I think that's a fair question. Do you know what I mean? Is the game experience at the best it can be the major concern of Stadia? Their number one concern is how many people can we reach, is what
Right.
it feels like to me, which is maybe different than my list of priorities of
And
what
yeah,
I
and
want
that's
out of
the-
gaming.
And they have
Yeah.
all the reach in the world, right? But
Yeah.
there's so many other questions here too, like competing with the Steam and Epic stores with sales kind of things. How do those work out? How do the developers
How much are
get,
developers getting?
How
I'd
do the
imagine it's
developers
probably
get
the
paid?
classic 70-30 thing, right? Is
God.
Apple still on 70-30? I think they are.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
This
I
seems to be a
just don't
Silicon
know.
Valley staple, maybe.
It's the
I mean, here's the great news: the consumer decides. You
There
vote
it
with
is.
your
Right.
money. Like we gotta always remember that. Like if you don't like something, don't buy it. right? You know what I mean? Like if it seems like a good deal, that's something you're interested in, do it. You know, enough people do it, then maybe it changes the way the world works. But if people want consoles, buy consoles.
Right.
People want to play PC, buy PCs. What do you know? That is a vote in that direction of how you want to play your games, and that's how you buy your games, and that's how. And by the way, you're going to get more opportunities to subscribe, I think, through a lot of different things as we go forward in the space. Even I think like Steam and Epic at some point are going to offer more like, hey, you can join up, have a pro, you know, get more games for free, like as they work on those programs. I always worry about those programs because I don't know what it does to the developers and what developer cuts. You know, I mean, I know, I think Epic has done a good job of like, we'll pay you for that and then kind of put it out there. I know PlayStation's done that stuff too with some of the PlayStation stuff that's available for free on there as well, PlayStation Plus games. So I think as everyone feels like they're getting their fair share, then that's good. Because I mean, I think it's important that developers continue to make great games, and games are expensive, and they need to make money somehow. But choose your own way, man.
Yeah, it'll be nice too, because like, you know, we joke about it being a second beta or whatever for this year at least with the Founders Edition. But the nice thing is then by the time the base model rolls out in 2020, where all it'll cost you is the price of the game,
The free
there's
model.
going to be enough info out there to know if it's good for you, right? Like there'll be enough reports out there about here's how it actually runs, here's what it's like in the wild, and at that point you can make the call.
Probably a lot of people will get their first experience being like, okay, it's out and it's free. They want to play a PC exclusive game or something.
Yeah.
They don't own a PC. Like, all right, let's give this a whirl.
100%.
And then it's going to be live or die on that, right?
Yeah.
If it sucks, that's probably going to be their last experience with it.
Yeah.
And if it's good, then they'll be like, well, I can use this to play stuff that I normally couldn't play.
Right.
But to be fair, it's going to be one of those things too. It's going to be hard to be like trust some. I know it sounds weird to say trust someone else's review because everyone's experience is going to be different because everyone's internet to their home is different.
Yeah.
Right. Even their home networks matter in a situation like this. Like, what's your router? How well does your router perform? All those things. So there's interesting questions.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I'm really curious to see at E3 next week how many people.
We're in E3 right now.
I'm sorry, E3 right now. E3 right, Brian? Is just the idea of how many people address Stadia. Like, you know, during Ubisoft's press conference, will just be a little logo at the end. Do you think they'll go out of their way to mention Stadia? Will Phil Harrison come on stage? All that kind of stuff.
The ones that have deals will definitely mention it.
You think Phil Harrison will come on stage for Ubisoft?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think
He's
so.
Mr. E3.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good guess if he's going to be anywhere. It'd be at Ubisoft.
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah.
I'm not writing it off. I'm just saying if I'm leaning on the end of no.
Okay, you're just expecting logo in the corner when it lists platforms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think everyone's hoping it's Miyamoto and some other weird Ubisoft collaboration.
Yeah.
Probably. I think that's what people want.
Right.
I think there's a chance of that too.
There's always a chance.
Not
I mean,
impossible.
this is a. The odds are very slim. There's always a chance too. The Nintendo Direct, they say, "Hey, Google Stadia, you can run it on your Switch."
That one I'm going to put in the
There's
crackpot
no way.
theory.
There's
no
no
a
way.
chance, but it's a really small chance.
I don't see Nintendo doing that.
I don't either. That's like the
There's
least
no
Nintendo
way.
thing ever.
Yeah.
The other guys, maybe, but Nintendo, no.
Look, man, they're wide
I
open
could be
these
wrong.
days. They're on
I could be-
phones. They're on everything. They're crazy. They're making Pokemon
that's
Sleep.
really
Are
crazy.
you really going with they're on everything?
I'm not going to go with that
No,
one.
I mean,
very, very low likelihood of that happening. Not impossible. Not impossible.
Nothing's
no,
impossible.
but I mean, but hey, like Nintendo's one of the most let's put this in perspective. Nintendo's one of the most beloved video game companies ever, right? And I know people love PlayStation. I know people love Xbox.
they're number one,
but
yeah.
Nintendo is like the one that is the most loved.
Yeah.
And why are they the most loved? Because they have defended gameplay and play and how to play and making sure that the things are interesting and fun has like been their thing, right? That's top of their list, right?
Yeah.
And I think that is different messaging than what we're getting from this a little bit. Just
Right.
in my opinion, you know what I mean? And like them have been very good at defending their battlegrounds, right? And I know like to some degree you wish they were on more things and they were out doing more stuff, but at the same time too, they are trying to preserve the experience.
Yeah.
That's a thing they strive for, and that's why people love them, and you know, that's a thing to remember, let's say.
Yes, that's true. Hey, that's it. Stay tuned throughout the week. GameInformer.com, our YouTube channel, Twitch channel, have a ton of stuff going up. We're going to be live streaming every other press conference. Leo, do you want to break those down? Which ones are we streaming? Which ones aren't we?
Most all of them.
Okay.
Starting this Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Central, we've got EA Play. We're doing the start of that. Their big Star Wars reveal. That's going to be super
exciting.
fun. Then on Sunday, we've got Microsoft and Bethesda, both that day. Then on Monday, there's a couple we're not streaming, but the ones we are streaming are PC Gaming, Square Enix, and Ubisoft. And then we have Nintendo on Tuesday and Netflix on Wednesday. We're doing all those.
Netflix, really?
Yeah, that one's going to be weird.
Going all in this year. All right.
Do we expect big things, or is that just a quirky, weird thing to end cap our E3 streams with quirky, weird ones?
The latter.
Okay, great. Well, that should be exciting. And then, yeah, GI Show episodes, you can subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, wherever you want to listen to it, Spotify, and we'll have episodes up. So we're going to be streaming those at night. We'll get the audio version up, hopefully, unless I pass out from exhaustion, that night as well. So it should be going up Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe a bonus one thrown in there for a good measure. Should be a good time.
That's a lot of stuff.
So join us.
Let's talk about games. It's going to be a fun week. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.